It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
Um, yeah, it's the same thing. No sound. So everybody's complaining about the sound. So out of the voice of the one call and we tune into the big sound. Yeah, still can't hear. Still can't hear. This is a big problem for me. Um, for the simple fact that you're saying you can't hear me, but clearly um, it's showing that the sound is there. Um, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Talk to me. Okay, y'all hearing now? Good, 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 good. Right, so speak the truth, shame the devil. Big up to everybody on TikTok, the tick to the talk, and again, I gotta say special shout out, Herbert. I see you, Sponge. I see you, Chosen Claudette. Big up yourself, Marcia Edwards, MC. Um, Isilda Williams. Good evening to you, Joe Bloggs. Bless up, Christine Thompson, Sunny, DWJA. Everybody hearing me, and they say even having echo. It's technology, you know. It's technology. Um, Blessings, Jennifer Francis. Thanks for the blessings. I'm happy that you are proud. You know, there's a in the space, and some other. If you're not hearing me, it's probably your device, because people are saying they're hearing me, and some even saying they're hearing echo. And I don't know where them things there come from. You get me? But yeah, we just have to deal with it as it come. Yeah. All right, so on top of that, or what I was saying is, this week is today is Holy Thursday, and that of course is a big deal, and here's why in my mind it's a big deal. it being Holy Thursday. Well, for echoing, as in there's an echo on my mic, you know, where's Kevin when you need him? Because right here now, when I ask me about things I don't know nothing about, you see, you get me. All these things about echoing and all of them something there. But we're going to work this out. Yeah. All right. Is that better? Talk to me. Somebody said beat and teach. Yeah, I think, yeah. Talk to me. Is that somebody said Kevin where you there? Listen, people on Reggae Global Radio, you're the only set of people that don't complain about me in terms of whatever it is that they're hearing. And so I'm dealing with it as best as I can. So in terms of that, let me see. All right, so I turned that off. So I'm hoping that as you're hearing me, you're not hearing an echo anymore. We hear you. See, people are saying they're hearing me. AC a blow fan on, I'm still hot in here. I don't know what to tell you. It must be the apparel. Apparently, it's the apparel. But no watch, no face still. We're gonna see if we're gonna be able to get phone calls tonight, no so? Because that would be really, 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 really dope, don't you? No. I mean, I try to be fancy with technology. You know? Hold on. No. This don't make no sense. This can't be for real. Um, I'm laughing at myself right now because this is hilarious. More than hilarious. Okay, good. So we're going to stay right here because right now, microphone checker, Rex and effects, you know what's up. Yeah, people saying loud and clear. So I was telling you about the book Animal Farm, and it's a very, 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 hear me man, it's a very, very interesting book that people ought to, I think people should try to, at a minimum, get the book. Yeah. So people should try to get the book Animal Farm. The book is really about let me see. So it is Orwell's, or one of his finest work. It is a political fable, or yeah, and it is on the events of Russia's Bolshevik revolution and the betrayal of the cause by Joseph Stalin. This is so interesting because the book concerns a group of barnyard animals who overthrow and chase off their exploitative human masters and set up an egalitarian society of their own. Well, people are to take from it what the real message of Animal Farm is about, is really what I would say is it's about the desire for power. So the desire is closely related to the second theme of corrupt politics. And I know you guys know where I'm going with this, but corrupt politics. So the animals in the story, particularly Napoleon, he wants more power. So it starts with the idea of the revolution, but eventually leads to the pigs to want even more power and less equality. So there's this idea that so let me just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Think of Jamaica. Think of the small island of Jamaica and the need for independence. Well, that independence that we so love to talk about, what we did was to say we must do away with our colonial masters. People are saying no sound again. No, man, something wrong with your device. It can't be me. Certainly, my volumes on Reggae Global Radio is saying that it's loud and clear. So if you're not having sound, it's something. Yeah, it sounds like a situation. Oh, Jamaica, anyone? Yeah, so that's the point I'm making. So I'm putting the book Animal Farm into context before I go any further. I want to paint the picture with Jamaica, or any developing nations which were colonized and where they are now. So to put things in context, when Jamaica became independent, boy, I can't tell you how strong our dollar was, but to say that, can you imagine a time when the US dollar was less than the value of the Jamaican dollar, with less people in the world? Can you imagine that? Just think of that just a little bit. Then imagine we speak about 400 years of slavery. We complain about the oppression, we complain about patriarchy, we complain about the inequalities and the oppression of a patriarchal society. All of these things, we complain about racism, we complain about the unfairness, we compare the lack of humanity, and still feel, the effects of post-traumatic slave syndrome, a syndrome or a psychological defect or condition attached to depression that Jamaicans generally have. Why am I saying that? Well, it happens in other Caribbean nations as well, but here's the real trick or the real story behind it. We want better for ourselves, and we speak about having leaders who look like us, who are for us, who are the sons and daughters of our nations, and it's through these leaders that we are going to have a fighting chance in life to move towards the best possible way. Megawatt says, Isa, the only book I want to read is about Andrew and his, well, all of those things are political. What I'm getting at is using the book Animal Farm to demonstrate false morality, hypocrisy in the distribution of rights, justice, equality, any one of those things. And Megawatt, you say, Megawatt come over context matters to put things out of context so people can screenshot and deal with them things. Anyway, and I tried it, but I wore braces, so when I put my teeth together and I do this, it still look nice. And my nose don't flare out too much, so I don't really know how to respond to that, if you get what I'm saying. So just leave that alone, Megawatt. Anyway, the idea, so even as I was teaching or had introduced you guys to Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, philosophers, especially Greek philosophers, there was always this idea that we are all, what do you say to people of society? Well, we are all of the same metal, yes? But some of us are platinum, some of us are gold, some of us are silver, some of us are beryllium, some of us are vibranium, if you're from Black Panther and those things. Some of us are just basic wood, some of us are just basic, not even mahogany, pine. Some of us are shavings, wood shavings. Some of us are just copper. Some of us are bauxite. And you know, bauxite is very important because technology today wouldn't be anything with it. Yeah, see there? Iridium, cadmium, radium, beryllium, silicium, all of the iridium them. Psyllium too, idiom. Anyway, some of us must get rid of them. Anyway, and some of us are just dumb, and that's just the truth. Anyway, so you get the idea. Well, all animals in the animal farms, clearly, if you read the book, was not made equal. I have, to be honest with you, I did attempt to invite a friend of mine, John Clark, and is my attorney to speak on the whole idea of the animal farm. It's a book that he's passionate about, and I can tell you, it's interesting for the simple fact that we live it. I'm being really real with you. We live it in Jamaica. I don't have to tell you who the pigs are. You can figure that out for yourself. For instance, the most intriguing thing happened over the course of this week. Last week I was on Rattigan show, and while on Rattigan show, I don't know what had happened, but there was some attempt to justify or explain away my favorite person. Everybody know my favorite person is the Speaker of the House, Juliet Holness, and her erroneous authority given to herself about being able to send back reports. And I raised it and I said, under what authority? Because no such authority exists in law. But I can tell you, ever since my sojourn to the Privy Council, Jamaica has created in the social media space a large cross-section of village attorneys who have never read a law book or who have never had the legal training or saw it fit to go to law school to be able to interpret and understand law. And they come out in droves, and they come out with all the understanding. They come out. Just listen, I'm running a radio show and stop giving me joke. I'm trying to be serious here. Lexi, behave yourself. Stardon, behave yourself. Or they just leave it. Breeze me now. And then, not to mention, some of you people, you know what? I have a trick for you. I kill me then I have a trick for you. But they just wait until when they say, I man, I run them show, then they just start give me trouble on my phone. Anyway. So if anybody can contact John Clark, tell John Clark to join me, and we have the discussion on the whole animal farm. But while I wait, if he shows up, I just want to reiterate this aspect of it about painting the picture of what happens in the book. But maybe the best thing to do is to continue. So, it like I said, it is a beast fable. It's in the form of a my favorite thing, satirical allegorical novella by George Orwell. It was first published in England in August 17, 1945. It tells the story of a group of anthropomorphic farm animals who rebel against their human farmers, hoping to create a society where the animals can be equal, free, and happy. Does that happen? Does that happen? Obviously not. the lesson, or should I say the lesson? Do I want to use the idea of the lesson? That's the question to ask. Anyway, the lesson. Let's put it this way. Yeah, I don't know if I want to use the lesson, but what we have is we have gone away from our colonial masters. Having gone away from our colonial masters, we have since decided that, you know what, we don't need the colonial, we don't need the colonial, my beautiful budding attorney, Miss Kezia Nita, my niece, has reminded me that the village lawyers, village attorneys are very important too. And while she has not completed law school and is on her journey to graduating from village attorney to actual attorney, I should retract my statement about village lawyers, because they are the bedrock of the internet. And she wished not to have to sue me, because without the village lawyers, the internet would certainly crumble. So my apologies, and I retract under instruction and authority of Miss Kezia. Big up yourself. Heads I kill him with the nose. See, she hit me with a dub plate. Anyway, let me stop that. Yeah, but I want to go back to say, in trying to give you an idea of what we're going on, where you put the authority in the hands of the people who are, to be honest with you, are not necessarily capable, and put it understanding the ability or the need for them for what happens. The word is greed, and we must question greed. We must look at the ulterior motives of the people. All who are look OD better go drink Alice soup or go outside. Well, and people who search for accolades and all of these things to give themselves status not necessarily earned, that too in of itself can be problematic. And so what I really want to shed light on is the idea or the concept of the whole animal farm, and see if it works. So these animals decide that they're going to start a revolution, and they're going to throw their colonial masters. So that's what Jamaica did. And they got independence, and two parties were formed, one green, one orange. So lime and orange, right? Kind of like how we have Digicel and Flow, two phone company, and like how we have Water Commission and Tank Water, two independent companies, and like how we have TVJ and RETV, two different companies, because obviously it's only two. I said, behave yourself. I mean, let me be fair. We have TVJ and we have CVM. Everything is two. And anytime you buy cash pot and you buy two, you don't win. I don't know. But anyway, that idea that we can't sustain anything more than that, and we start to form, and we start to be slack with it too, you know. Here's why we be slap. Here's North Star, behave yourself. Behave yourself. Why would you say CVM flop? Don't you dare do that. Anyway, yeah, how could you just say CVM is flop? You just behave yourself, man. You're tuned into Reggae Global Radio and ISAT's Context Matters. You just put it in context before you go out and talk about these things. We're trying to deal with the animal farm situation. Anyway, so now the animals who are, and the pigs, and you know pigs are fat, and pigs are swines, and pigs are greedy. That's why you shouldn't eat pork. And that's why the season of Lent come in, or if you're a Muslim, Ramadan, so you stay away from the pork, because pig is bad. Yeah. And I don't know what Kermit was doing with Miss Piggy, but big up yourself, Miss Piggy. You're not exactly Cardi B, but he was trying a thing as a little muppet. But anyway, and I know this broadcast all over the United States. Miss Piggy don't come for me. It's just not going to happen, all right? Yeah. Anyway, right there and then, these pigs now are now the new masters, and if you read the book, you'll get a sense of it. Far from the truth. They are so greedy. The people, the other animals get less and less and less and less and less, and then they start to develop and say, listen, when you want too much, what we're going to do is put it on a path to a program. But you have to be poor, bad, poor. Where's Queenie? Bad, poor, Anthony, bad, poor. You have to start from there, humble beginnings, and that's how them deal with you. Yeah? And then they just put clogs and fetters in everybody's way, and nepotism destroys the fabric of morality, and everybody takes the comments, Loxley, behave yourself. My grandfather wouldn't be happy for you typing those things about pigs and as in domicile. No, anyway. And nepotism reigns supreme. So that is how the whole idea comes in now, because we had a whole election, and the Speaker of the House, she held the Auditor General's report, and lo and behold, we hear say building rent, for how much whole heap of money on the building now use, and then they put out statements about the procurement policies which they are responsible for. And it is through this policy that has caused us to now spend about $30 million in rent, and people shouldn't feel no way because building off a rent. And don't worry about it that it just happens to be that this one of the members of parliament is them own the building and is collecting that type of money. This thing, as you know, is never about the legality of something, but more so the morality of it. That was raised by the opposition leader who, may I tell you, I don't know, but this man from the Maroons rub him up in the oil, and I'm not saying it's Obia oil, but the spirits come on him, and you're seeing the formation of a leader that him come in the house and him say, listen, I'm talking about what we're going to do for Jamaica, but before, what we know we cannot do for Jamaica is allow one family to behave like the royal family. So all if it not there on the books, it's morally wrong and ethically improper for husband and wife to be running Jamaica like it's them mama and papa did give to them and leave it to them, behaving like you are from the Windsor family. When we know when we know your beginnings and how you're treating other poor people, all right, Ricardo Hanson, I hear you, but I'm technologically dunce, and Kevin is nowhere around, and right, context matters. Right now, we not reach the levels yet. Technology smart, the smartphone smarter than ISAT and all of them things there. And Colette, shame on you for loving pork and admitting that during the season of Lent. Go and do your beatitudes and go into confessions. I do confessions 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. So during that time, you can call me and confess your sins, and I will bless and wash your sins away and buy one of my rings for $250,000. Anyway, let me behave myself. Anyway, back to that. So I'm speaking on this because that was what your leader of opposition was articulating when he said it couldn't be right. And then like a thief in the night, they send back reports on no legal authority, none whatsoever known in law. So they use badmanism They use, if you look at the anti-gang legislation, them use gang tactics and send back and say to the Auditor General, hey, hold them reports here, cause the things in there, so we now read that, make the people them hear. You see me? And them send it back. And she said, oh, me not afraid of no girl, no boy, no dog, no pig, no deer. Take back them reports and table it, cause me know the law. That's what your Auditor General said. By the way, they amended the Constitution and the laws necessary to make sure that she gets a full extension. And she's a nice, young, beautiful woman. So I can tell you this, even when it's time for her to retire, she'll be still tabling reports for a good extra 5 to 10 years because of that legislation. Duppy really know who for frighten, because she sent back reports and she said, table it. But before that was done, remember we're talking about the animal farm thing. So one of the leaders, I'm not going to call them pigs, says, how dare you? You clerk person, you're not a pig. You're a servant. You're more like a cow. You embarrass me with your stupidity, and you messed up the reports and caused me to look bad. But we're going to work it out, because really what I did is I didn't understand what the Attorney General told me that I could and could not do. And I mistake, because I have a village lawyer who told me that Section 30 was the section that I'm supposed to use when it was really Section 29. And had I read the report and perused it, I would have known that it's a special report and curse everybody and write in the public space. But that is the least of it. Because the book tells you in Animal Farm that where nepotism is concerned, when the moral fabric of society is eroded by the people who benefit. Who are the people? Well, it includes sections of the private sector. It includes the upper echelons of society. It doesn't include the diaspora, because the diaspora don't have standing. All the diaspora can do is send the barrel them come and run the KFC and don't vote and don't worry with what going down here. So on the left Jamaica already, and we really just, we don't need, we just need the money. When just coming like some woman we just can give a green card and we just boop some out and radam, we try to live with life, cause I just saw the world run. So not the diaspora, but the sect of people who benefit. And how do they benefit? Because their businesses strive and operate, for instance, from time immemorial. And this is the ethical aspect of it. Can you imagine waking up finding out that with the murder rate being as bad as it is, the people who collect the bodies from the hospital are attached to government? Can you say, why fight crime when I can just open a funeral home and just, as you murder the people, them just send me the bodies, let me just charge the little poor people them the money? And I'm saying, these things have to do with ethical, moral turpitude, the decadence of society, the decay in society, coming like when rotten teeth they're around there and you try gurgle with little Listerine and it just knock you out because the nerve exposed and the last hair follicle on the top of your head somewhere around you, so it lick in your little toe and you know so that teeth they have to come out. That is I'm trying to be very graphic in explaining this aspect of Duppy Know who for frighten. And for anybody who behave like them never have a rotten teeth, let me tell you about pressure. Well, pressure is rotten teeth when the nerve exposed, not even a root canal can help you. That when them put in the Novocaine that runs straight to your brain, even the drill you feel in your left eye when them a drill on the right side. Well, that is what really is happening. And for those people who behaving, no, not because everybody run to first class image, big up Marlon Phillips, and then put in but then call them something like the porcelain. The fake teeth, them where everybody teeth white, but their mouth still stink. Whether something veneers, yeah. When you come and go on like on the hype. We're not gonna do that today. We're not gonna go down today. We're not have to go down today. Yeah. So anyway, what you say about Bramwell? Yo, we're only coming out on a really doing bad today. But anyway, behave on yourself. Comment section, behave on yourself. TikTok, behave on yourself. YouTube, behave on yourself. Only reggae global, decent. All right. So the importance of understanding that now is that this is a moral call, you know. We can't complain about what our colonial masters did and then think it is acceptable to do worse, but because we are the same skin color, there is some justification. What is even more an insult is that, to borrow from the words of Professor Nettiford and put it in context, not because I'm using this and not because who the cap fit make them wear it. Bob Marley said that. A butu in a Benz is still a butu. So we complain about classism and generational class, but we accept and we put in our own kind by virtue of Animal Farm. So we say, run with the rich man. We don't want Mark, I'm white and him rich. But we need for keep Andrew and the black man them with the big nose, because them man they know about struggle. And them man they know about pressure. But as them get in, you for stay poor and them for stay rich. But then when time come, them say every ghetto youth is a star and them wear Clarks and they can play cartel. Because this morning I wake up, you know, and I see for myself, you know, it gone now, but I see the Minister of Health in quote cartel, you know, fake news, you know. The man used cartel music as a dub plate for say what's out in the media is fake news. And I don't see the cultural minister said that he should resign because it is inappropriate to use dirty dancehall and use it and so and so. And he's not, you know, and this is why Duppy Know who for frighten. Let me tell you what I mean with this Animal Farm. So, in England, up there, in London, in the House of Parliament, there is a member of Parliament, and her name is Abbott, and I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but Miss Abbott, I'll make sure I sound right, you know, let me turn this a bit down so I'm not drowning out and doing what I'm not supposed to be doing, but Miss Abbott is speaking in Parliament, and while she's in there, you know, Mr. Astor, a white man, says, you know, I can't stand the sight of you. You're a bit black, and you're like a black woman, and I don't like to see you because you're a bit ugly. And I just can't function in the same house as you, you black woman. And then everybody say, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. And then the opposition spokesperson in Jamaica now, you know. So remember, we are a sovereign nation, so we don't think we know what's going on in the other parts of the world. But racism is in England. There's no denying that. Racism is in the United States, and racism is here in Jamaica. Anyway, after that has happened, and Miss Abbott is a long-standing black woman with great achievement, even more than the Speaker of our House. She actually achieved something monumental in a space where patriarchy rules and the white man rules, but she has, through affirmative action, done her thing. Anyway, when she finished, she just, that happened, and everybody was like, oh my God, this happened. Well, the opposition health spokesperson says, listen, it cannot be that a white man is going to be misogynistic, disparage a black woman with Jamaican heritage, and it's a representation of us. And it cannot be that we are using taxpayers' money to give this person contracts. And everybody said, what? And somebody said, well, yes, say that again. And yeah, so Dr. Dawes shows it out, and he's called on the Auditor General, remember, the most erudite and bright Auditor General, young, smart, legal mind in Jamaica, that when she right and on point, she does her job without any form of distractions and unbiased. If unbiased was a person, it would be the Auditor General. Anyway, he calls on that to happen. And then we realized, we said, hold on. So leaders are allowed to have freedom of expression when they breathe the air in England. And you have your right to say the congressman or the parliamentarian is to resign. But he said what he said, and then he came out and says, I'm not racist. I have black friends, and I have friends who are black and beautiful. I am obviously entitled to say what I want to say because I'm white. Argument done. Our most erudite, Pocomania jumping, oil rub up, candle lighting, cultural minister with the highest form of morality in Jamaica, the mother of morality. And you don't remember last year? She says, a man cannot be a leader in the country of Jamaica if him quote Vibes Cartel and attribute words that deals with fellatio and ideas of telling prominent women to perform fellatio. How dare you? I am calling on the nation of Jamaica as the cultural minister to remove this guy and give him the death penalty if you can. He must not teach at the University of the West Indies. He must live on the Gully Bank even if he never come from the Gully Bank. He must not be allowed to represent the poor people and give them a voice and tell them about the Constitution. Remove him and destroy him at once. And I call on the public sector. And then one lady say, yes, I've heard the cries. Disbar him and remove him, I hate him. And all of that happened last year. And everybody says, the church says, yes, Lord, we're coming back to morality and standards. And everybody laughed. Everybody went, wee, all the way home. Of course, we saw what happened with that. Anyway, her press release came out. She says, oh, Miss Abbott, we feel your pain. As a black woman, when people call us like that and call us ugly because of the color of our skin, we support you 100%. But what we're not going to do is to take contracts from the white man because he was misogynistic to you. And I will not put in a press release that he was being a misogynist and a racist because that doesn't suit our agenda. Because these contracts, we need them. Anyway, that's a matter for you. When you read it, this is why context matters. Because selective morality is why Duppy know who to frighten. This is why Animal Farm reign supreme. And remember, not all pigs are pink. Don't ever forget that. When I was a young warthog. That was my rendition of The Lion King. Anyway, so we do have full idea of why it is that context matters. Because, listen, with what has come out in the Auditor General's report, it is evident why the reports were not tabled. And we, as a society, must be able to look at these things and put down what it is taxpayers' money. It calls into question why are we paying taxes if people are allowed to abuse it and use it and have overruns in Cornwall Regional Hospital. And then there is talk that, hey, we're gonna squeeze 5,000 more seats in stadium, and I promise you, it's gonna cost about let's say about $1 trillion to put 5,000 more seats, so that when Burna Boy and Beyonce and everybody come and perform at the stadium, they're still gonna use the same half. And it's still not big enough for Vibes Cartel concert. So just remember that that is it. But most importantly, when you go over to the social media space where the miscreants reign supreme, the people with the dummy accounts and the people who actually don't have jobs but are supported to be nuisances in the social media space. Yeah, you can't come for me. Those things don't bother me. They are silent when the people who support them and pay their bills are proven to be unethical. There are no calls from the society of young generational people who drink lemonade or lime juice or whatever, who always call for the resignation of people on other sides or to go and live on gully banks. When it's their friends, there are no calls about that. When it's their sons and daughters, everybody is silent, and then they do what? They deflect. Remember what I taught you guys last week about smoke screens, about red herring, about the straw man? They say, yeah, but them did have it for 18 years. Them are wicked. Right now, really more like I have box food out of my mouth. You see it? Yeah, and that's what they did. That's what happens. But it must not be lost that if society is to develop to its full potential, we have to stop the thieving. We have to stop the corruption. We have to it's mandated that we actually hold the people who are getting paid accountable for the misuse of public funds for what is known as unjust enrichment. Because majority of the people in the country are poor. And what my biggest problem is with that is that they can't afford KFC. How can you live in a world and cannot afford KFC? 365 days a year. How are you going to feel about yourself knowing that you can buy a 6-piece chicken barbecue with a little coleslaw and some mashed potatoes, and by option you said, you know, I don't want it today, so I'm going to get a fish sandwich from KFC, something like that. You can't do it because you're too poor to do it. And then when end of month, like a professional beggar, you take up the phone and call everybody you know and ask them for money. Not wrong with that, you know. It's just that you need to do it during Christmas time, like the Salvation Army. Or have a nice charity to do it and put on good clothes. Because it's only the upper echelons of society can beg. They call it, spare your silver that you're not using so that we can put it into a charity of all kind, because we've had thousands of poor people who happen to be black. But when you get up and say, oh, run our money, it's a problem. So we are talking about context, and we have to know that context matters, because, again, the people living on the rock that is Jamaica are few. They're not many. It's so bad that the nurses people them and the census people them say the people them now procreate enough, and so the population is dwindling. And that counts for something, because even the next generation, it's not even the generation Z or Z1 or whatever they call themselves now, even they have understood that they need to, for survival, to live a formidable life, it probably would not be wise to bring kids into the world so they can suffer, so they can get up and get paid and bribed to vote. And people pretend that this is not happening. But before our eyes this week, we would have seen the delay in the tabling of a report, because the question to ask, would it have made a difference in the way how people voted during the local government government if they were told that there was people benefiting from taxpayers' money that ought not to have benefited in that manner? And there's no justification that can come to say that this is a part of the procurement method. Because if that is the procurement method according to the letter published by the TAJ, then that procurement method is faulty, flawed in such a way that there's no justification for wasting taxpayers' money. We have buildings that we're proud to say we spend $4 million a month for the rent while we build out, and we're building out because we are a developing country. But let's have a discussion before any bill anymore. Why not get back to the discussion where every single Jamaican, once them born, them get $40,000 a week, so that they can make decisions and learn how to use money, actually have money so that they can learn how to manage money, because they have it, not hypothetical money. Yeah? That is something that is important. People learning to have money so that they can manage money, but also the standard of living. Because I'm going to tell you, for the country to develop, there has to be a way to increase the value of the passport. Because you have to be passing ports and you have to be engaging in globalization through human resource. And so we stop complaining about brain drain. So the teacher them, as them get little education, them leave for a better life because you don't want to pay them. Police officers that put their life on the line every single day are not paid enough. So you guys, so them need a little gas money for their cars, which they have to use sometime because they don't have enough cars. Or credit for their phones because them I use them phone for conduct them investigation, and then we behave as if this is not animal farm, that all animals are actually not equal in the Jamaican space, that we as black people are mistreating our out of many one a lot more than we should. These are questions that we have to stop and ask ourselves. Yeah? We have to think about these things, because the future of our nation depends on being unbiased, having integrity when no one is watching, having empathy and sympathy, and the ability to be human, the ability to accept when you've also made a mistake and make amends for it genuinely, not the political script that people use to say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and please forgive me. No. A little bit more than that. And honesty. See there, Carol Allen said, honest. The ability to be honest. Isn't that what we want for ourselves? Shouldn't we reject the book, Animal Farm? Shouldn't we decide that we don't want that for our society? So that is what or what we should be thinking about. And so as we sit, it's Holy Thursday, so I won't be going outside of that which is holy. I won't even begin to, I won't even attempt to what would I say? Cause any trouble? Not today. I won't do it. What I will do, though, is invite persons to stop and think about what is it that we want for our children. what type of responsible individuals that we want for the future, what kind of opportunities we want to give them. The idea of self-respect, is that something that we want to introduce to the next generation, so that even when laws are flawed, we stop and think and say, it should not be that way. And today I went into the KFC line, and the lady told me the bill, and I drove around to the window and I gave her more money than I ought to have, because naturally I can't count, because I'm a dunce. And notwithstanding that, she put the change and she said, "You gave me too much money." And I look at her and I said, "Well, I don't know if I hold it Thursday," but I was so shocked that I gave it back to her. I felt like I was robbing her by taking the money back. It's that kind of interest. Yeah, it's that kind of interest that has to that we have to think about. How when people are honest, you reward people for honesty. You don't continue to reward people for dishonesty, because I can tell you, even when you go to the supermarket, should have seen me today at the supermarket. I say, "What is who that?" Look at the picture and tell me who you see. Because for some of them, Jesus is watching. But I don't know if they know. But yeah, we ought to incorporate in our life a little bit of Holy Thursday. Deal with people like it is the Last Supper. Understand why Christology is a topic that we actually do have in terms of the ability to read. So you see blue eyes in that? Because I don't see no blue eyes. And how you know this is a white Jesus? How you know that you're not white? How you know that black people aren't white and white people are really the black people? Think about those things. Who told you that? But anyway, I digress. Because that is what we definitely, in terms of our thinking, our thoughts, our actions, we definitely have to come to terms of what it is that we're doing for our future. Do we always want to think that Animal Farm is the standard for our society? If yes, then everything I said for the last hour has no value, has no meaning, and we should just simply do away with it. That's my thought. I don't know. You tell me what you think, but that's in my head. That's what I'm thinking. But we're up on the first hour, so we have some housekeeping business to do, and as soon as we do that, we definitely going to do what we know is best. I'm going to actually open the phone lines today, but don't laugh if it don't work, cause I got it working today. I test it out and thing, and I'm excited about that. Hearing what the actual callers are going to say, and I'm going to tell you a disclaimer. But let me do the commercial break thingy-majiggy, and then I'm going to tell you about the importance of being respectful and understand that you're on national radio, so you shouldn't be disgusting. Yeah. It's 5 o'clock.
It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
Yeah, so while we do our housekeeping on Reggae Global for the 5 minutes, your thoughts though on Duppy Know who for frighten. I think I said it all in that, in that there are people who, they choose their battles. I'm not gonna say that they choose it wisely, but sometimes it's very easy to tear down the weak. But then you also can see that the system can tear down people. But I'll just say this: just don't be Diddy, and you'll be fine. I ain't gonna say no more on that. You'll be fine. Yeah, Elgar Fletcher, honesty and integrity is the order of the day. What I also do know is that there is also the idea or the concept of just basically being real, living in reality. If we know our reality and we can speak on the reality, people can adjust to what the reality is. Like, do we know the real value of the Jamaican dollar in the space that we're living in now? Maybe the answer is no. But these are genuine realities that we have to think about when we deal with it. Chairman Phillips says, no funds until building is complete, past inspection, etc. Protect the people's money, and they are not doing that. The rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. Well, if I had a building and they approve the building, I want my rent, whether I'm in parliament or not. So it's about the procurement procedure. It's about ensuring transparency and the opportunity to enrich yourself because of nepotism is something that is unacceptable. And I mean, I don't have to say too much more on that. It's self-explanatory. I really think that it is self-explanatory. And if there are persons, yeah, man, it's military time, man. It is. I'm not gonna call it that. We are really fighting a spiritual and an intellectual war. Persons who are being silenced for speaking the truth ought to be given the space to speak the truth. And people must come to a place where criticism is a tool to assist those in the positions that they're in to be better. It's not all removal is not always the answer, but is putting yourself in a place to accept criticism and making the adjustment publicly so people can say, I like the improvement. That is where we need to be. That is what we need to be thinking about. That is what we need to be doing. That is of utmost importance. And so the meaning of it, Holy Thursday and the Easter weekend is not just about carnival, although carnival nice. But that's the irony, because I hear some songs on the radio and I want to get in you. I want to get in you. Choke. That's carnival, and then people say, oh, sorry. But at the same time, Not gonna make this a carnival dance. Or what I can say is we must embark on the idea of a Jambion experience, for lack of a better word. Big up yourself, Kurt Riley. Yeah, and fuse fuse the music, understanding the music, sharing in the culture, but also having reverence for the time. Because I mean, for crying out loud, tomorrow Jesus died for our sins, and today is the Last Supper. So even dinner today is supposed to be special. And what's special for you when you think about dinner? That's how you're supposed to look at it. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so you see, silence. The silence is so loud, and you know why? Um, I sat with there for them. You're there for them. Well, context matters, you know. Who is them? How you know the them and not the we? So Noah Williams says the procurement excuse is asinine. How come they are paying rent when the procurement process is incomplete? They're saying that's the start of it. But I'm just highlighting that what also needs to be done, you know, and we probably should call for it since government won't do it. Where maybe the opposition can hold a press conference and tell us, have the interest of about these reports, like I see people have with the Vibes Cartel case, and all the village lawyers should come out and interpret what is in the case and who should be prosecuted and who should be tried and who should be fired and who should resign. We should have robust discussions about what has happened here, the effect of not tabling it on time, the idea of the demonstration of why it appears that why it is important that justice must appear to be done, even if it's not being done. Because when it looks bad, a lot of speculation and a lot of things are going to be said. And we have to get to a place where we understand this. So we really respectfully we want that. Akeem Nafio says, greetings, I am personally totally aware of your spiritual and physical gifts. If young teenagers or young people are watching, please let Isaac be your torch and role model. The future is bright again. Amen to that. But if young people are watching, be better than Isaac. And the possibilities are endless. I will say that as well. Lily says, we are not going to hear from, because they know what we're not going to hear from them because they know what they are doing. Well, the reports are online. The Auditor General has done our job. But those who are whether it be state media, platforms, they are to give some guidance as to what's really the effect of what happens and the way forward. We can't just, these things can't just happen and then disappear, because it affects us. It affects us in the future, long after the people who are there, when they are gone and their families are okay. It is the nation as a whole that suffers. And we have to think about that in terms of finding a way or charting a way to doing that. So I am trying to contact, because I wanted to have a better understanding of Animal Farm, and they said I'm an actor. I shouldn't try to to tell people about the book, the way how I was going about doing it. So let's see how that works. Yeah. So again though, the whoop, hold on. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is to open up the phone lines and get your thoughts on Animal Farm context. Let me put up the phone number. I know one can see the phone number, so. So we'll start with that. So I'm now awaiting, because I've actually left the space open to have conversation. So as I said, be respectful, be mindful that you are live on radio, and also be concise with your whether it be questions, comments, and let us have meaningful discussions. How that sound? So that will be the starting point. Right. Right. So I'm awaiting the call. So we'll see what happens when it's by WhatsApp call, or you can call me. The number is on the screen. Concise reasoning. Yes, big up yourself, Loxley. The light you see from the sun or moon is from billions of years ago. I guess that's years. Blessing, Shaw 6. TikTok, what say you? We need the DJ. Oh boy. Yeah.
+1 876 7895.
All right. Hello. All right, hold on. Let me see if I got this right. Yes, hello. Yes, you're listening to Context Matters. Who is this? Yes, and who am I speaking with? Oh, how you doing, Pat? Pat, turn down your device, as in your TV or your device that you're looking at, because I'm hearing an echo. All right, I'm hearing you. My viewers are saying they're not hearing you. Yeah, they're not hearing. No, well, they're saying no, but I'm hearing you. So go ahead, and I'll work it out in the meantime. Go ahead.
ever since. I'm so
Excellent, excellent. All right, so
okay.
all right, so what
I'll
I
be
go?
watching. God bless
All right,
you. Keep on doing what you're doing.
all right. Thank you so much for calling. All right, next caller. I gotta work it out. I'm gonna put chance. Are you? Hold on and log back in. No, you still didn't hear her? Okay, yeah. It says they said they are hearing her. No, come on, man. Yeah. Next caller. Next caller. What do you mean you can't believe it's a big youth of my father? I don't understand that. Who are your father? Big up, big up. Next caller, next caller. You're on the hotline with I Said Buchanan. Context matters. This segment is sponsored to you by I Said Buchanan Attorney at Law, 5 Duke Street, downtown Kingston. Yep. Yeah, so in the meantime, I am looking at the comments because since nobody is calling, the number is on the screen. And see, when the customer say I don't set up the phone lines, now the phone lines were set up. Y'all ain't calling, man. But this thing, it only gets better. So I'm not.
Unknown caller.
I have a caller. Caller, you're on the line.
Cannon. Is this
Yes, I'm hearing you, and your name is?
God is yours?
All right, nice. So tell me, what's your thoughts on our topic today, Duppy Know Who for Frighten, and the book we are discussing is Animal Farm.
Well, Duppy Know for frighten. It's been frightening a lot of people, but my call is not about that. It's about the Bible. I want to get to you. It has all the lost books in it.
Oh, is a Maccabee Bible?
It has the first, second, third, and fourth. It has Jubilees, Enoch, first and second Enoch. But I don't know. Do you want it?
Okay, that's nice. That's nice, and that's nice. You can send it. You can send it to You can send it to me.
Okay, I'll drop it. I'll leave it with Iqbal, if that's his name.
Okay, right. Please, that lovely. I would appreciate that. Thanks for calling. Have a good day.
Okay, God, thank you. Keep up the good work.
All right, take care. Yeah, I know the calls are coming in, but while somebody is online, you know how that goes. So just
Plus
call
one
back.
8.
Greetings.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and your name is? Yeah, I know the calls are coming in, but
My name is Joan.
Joan, you have to turn on your device.
My name is Joan, and I'm calling from Florida.
Oh, how are you, Joan? You have a
I'm good.
question?
I always listen to you when you come on. What's his name from that retired FBI agent?
Oh, Ratigan, yes.
Very informative. I was just
Ratigan.
listening to you on Magnum. Yes. And I'm saying that I am 72 years of age.
Yes.
So when it comes on to Animal Farm, to be honest, I did that in primary school.
Nice.
And I don't even remember much about it. So I'm here listening to you this evening.
Okay, excellent.
And about the Duppy Know Who for frighten.
Mm-hmm.
It's a saying that we Jamaicans would say that, somebody would maybe interact with you in a vigorous way or boisterous way, and then you maybe answer them in a way that, they don't want to hear, and they don't want to come around with you because they know you're not a person who that they can play with.
Mm-hmm.
So we would use this slang, Duppy Know Who for frighten.
That is true. That is
and
true.
It's happening now in Jamaica in different ways, especially in the Parliament of Jamaica. I've been watching it from week, especially what happened yesterday with Minister, what's his name? I don't remember here now. He was the former security minister at one stage in the PNP
Oh,
thing,
that's
and
Peter
there was
Bunting.
this Minister of Finance was trying. He was talking about what was happening, and somebody there was trying to shut him down.
Mm-hmm.
But they couldn't shut him down. For me, that was Duppy Know who felt frightened because he stood up. He stood up and spoke what he wanted to say.
So he was in the
Right.
Senate,
So
but I like that. But they could have shut him down. They could have turned off his mic, but that's another story.
yeah, but he could still talk, couldn't he?
That's no, the new devices, but they gave him the
Okay.
respect for him to speak, and he went through with it. So yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, but he wasn't like one of those soft ones who will
Right.
just shut up. Yeah, he said something and say, "You can't stop me from speaking." So what I gathered from that, even if they stopped him in there, he could still go elsewhere and say it.
Mm-hmm. That is so true.
Right. So the Jamaicans and all over the world would still hear what he was saying. So it would be a waste of time to not listen to him. So in other words, I look on that as you would say, Duppy Know who for frighten.
Right.
Because he didn't shut up at the time when they said something to him. He continued speaking.
That is
You
true.
know,
That
and
is
he
true.
knew what he was saying because he has a lot of experience, so he knows what he was saying. And he let them know that you have to do this today. It is on the documents for you to say. Right, you know. So I enjoyed that
true.
yesterday. So that's another thing
All
of
right.
saying Duppy Know who for frightened.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you so much for calling, and keep watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we can
Yes.
grow the movement.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, all the time.
All right.
+1.
Hello, caller.
Hi, hello.
Yes, greetings.
Mr. Isaac, what's going on, brother?
I'm good. Who is this I'm talking to?
Yeah, man, this Damien, man, straight out of Atlanta.
Big up yourself, Damien. Talk to me. What you have to say on the topic?
Yeah, man, when me call a final, Mr. Isaac, cause right now, Jamaica become a big laughing stock, yeah, man. Jamaica become a little dolly house.
Well, you said Dalios rather than Animal Farm. All right. Talk to me. Why you say that?
A dolly house, them a place, but as me I say, with the Aliman farm still. The Aliman farm a good thing still. Agriculture, a good thing. Agriculture, we
No,
need agriculture in Jamaica.
the book Animal Farm actually.
Okay, yeah, man. We need them things. They are good things still, you know. Them things they are good things, you know. Besides that, all we grew up on the farm, you know, agriculture, you know. Little gungo, little thing going on your yard. Them is something happen no more, you know.
True.
Yeah, man. Them is something to finish with. So if we can get back to them, the best thing that we can ever do, you know. You know what I'm saying? So a good thing. A good thing.
All right.
But on a different list, I like to talk to you on a personal matter still.
All right. So you
So
have the
if we can
number.
get
So
a
just
number.
send. You have the number. So just WhatsApp me. All right.
All right, my boss.
All right.
All
Take
right.
it easy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Mr. Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you my lawyer. Anytime you hear that I give trouble, this is the man who actually gets me out of trouble. So, Mr. Clark, without further ado, I'm happy that you joined. Is who that's in the background? I big up themselves like that.
And everybody wants to say I said so.
All right, blessings. But anyway, so Mr. Clark, Animal Farm. I just want you to put some context. Brother. Yeah, mash up the thing. All right. All right. So I want you to just shed some light on the whole Animal Farm. I don't know if I did a really good job of describing it, but I know you're passionate about this book, so I want to give you the floor to explain to them what Animal Farm is and agree with me that it is really Jamaica. Go ahead.
Well, Animal Farm, as we all know, is a book that was written by George Orwell. And in it he described the fight that many persons have for justice. But these persons in animal farm are actually animals. And they're saying that these humans are the oppressors. And because they're oppressing us, we're going to unite, all animals will unite as one and fight against the wicked humans. Now they fought, they planned their revolution, and before they succeeded, they agreed they will never be the same thing as humans. They'll be fair to all animals, and they make their own rules about what exactly an animal farm run by animals will be like. And one of the first rule they made was that whatever goes up on two legs is an enemy. Then they make other rules, including whatever goes up on four legs or has wings is a friend. The third rule, no animals shall wear clothes. The fourth rule, no animal shall sleep in a bed. The fifth rule, no animal shall drink alcohol. The sixth rule, no animal shall kill any other animal. And finally, the most important rule, all animals are equal. Now, the beautiful thing about the book is that every single rule was changed once the pigs came in power. So they changed the rules because, after all, they needed some humans to do certain things. So they changed up the rule, and that a beautiful person who reminds me sometime of our ministers of information, not the current one, but minister of information across administration, where they'll explain anything and everything and make those in power look good, and anybody who oppose those in power look like enemies of the state.
Did this person have a neck?
Yes, he had a very big neck. And it so happened that
Plus
when
22.
our leaders ate the poor, their necks ordinarily get big. And that was, in fact, one of the joke in the book, that the animals start to get fatter. And when persons were complaining about the weight, they say, Running this farm is such a hard task that you need to celebrate that your leaders are eating well and getting fat, because that means they can do more for you. And reminds me so much of the society that we have, in which
Plus 1.
all the rules eventually are changed one by one, and our leaders justify the unjustifiable. And eventually, we realize more and more that Jamaica, land we love, across administrations, sometimes look more like Animal Farm rather than a fair land.
All right, so they're telling me that they're hearing an ugly echo. So I'm wondering if. Go ahead, let me hear you again.
I'm wondering, you still hearing echo? Yes, there's an ugly echo for real. Or I guess,
See it? Them always said, Duppy Know who for frighten. Them cry about the echo, now everything stop.
yes.
Okay, go ahead. Continue though, John.
I wonder if the echo,
No, man, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
yes. Well, I think I've said everything I could about Animal Farm.
All
It
right,
is
but
that,
in terms of, all right, so I'm asking you to comment in light of what you said about Animal Farm and the whole idea of, was it a genuine mistake? Brother Clark. It's you was echoing, you know. Yeah. John. Unmute, unmute.
Yes. What happened a while ago? Hello? Sorry about that. So, so I started saying about Animal Farm now. I said,
Tell
hello?
you, see?
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what say about Animal Farm now?
Yeah, man. I was saying to use the animal farm to I guess I want to say give you a verdict on on the procedure for the tabling of the Auditor General's report. Is it just a misuse of the section, misinterpretation?
Well, the problem with that is, is that one of the key things that Animal Farm shows is that sometimes those who are being led are also being misled. So let's use the analogy of the bed. Animals have decided we won't be sleeping in a bed because no animal shall sleep in a bed. Rule number 4. When the leaders decided that they want to sleep in bed, they changed that rule and they provided a justification for it. One of the first rules that we have as an independent nation was that the Auditor General shall be an independent officer and subjected to no control and direction of any other state organ. There was a reason why we thought it was prudent to ensure that no speaker or no state organ could direct our Auditor General how to perform her duties. Now, like in Animal Farm, when persons want, for whatever reason, to change up the games of the engagement, they'll come with the most beautiful explanation as to why we need to sleep in bed and why the rules, same rules that were the engine of the revolution, needs to be changed to allow us to essentially do whatever we want to do.
Right.
So, talking about the tabling of the bill, the Auditor General did a report in relation to the activity of material state organs. Obviously, not everybody will be happy with the content of the report, and obviously, the report can be explosive because it may very well demonstrate to some people that, boy, something now go on so right in another ministry here or in these departments. So now, one is not surprised when there's a lot of scandal and counter allegations about what exactly often is the true content and interpretation and result of these reports. So, the Auditor General table provided a report to the Speaker, and the section indicated that the Speaker should ensure it's stable in Parliament. For whatever reason, the Speaker decided, boy, we're not tabling it, and we're relying on Section 30 of another act to say that you are supposed to send to the minister and certain things need to be adhered to before we're taking certain steps. Now, it is quite clear that what people need to be mindful of is that and leaders themselves need to be mindful of, is that when rules are being changed because of the lessons that we see in Animal Farm, persons are likely to think that there may be nefarious reasons behind the change of rules, and that those changes are not because the speaker want to ensure adherence to the rules of accountability, but because she may want to hide things on behalf of hands seen or unseen. And when that perhaps that could be the farthest thing from her mind, but what we know is that as displayed at animal farms, people are very suspicious. And some people will say rightly so, some will say not so right for people to be so suspicious. But invariably, whenever politicians play with these things, they reap the benefit of what the poor speaker had to go through, which is that everybody not gonna sit down and allow it to happen.
Okay. And in terms of Duppy Know who for frighten. Just
Who's the
what
Duppy
is
now?
what is
Well,
your
who's the
thought?
Duppy?
You, you say who is the Duppy?
Yes, because I know I'm not don't look like no Duppy today.
No, enough done for you. We're still talking about the parliament. What I really in context, because there was a big thing about the Speaker of the House reprimanding the clerk of the House, and now they're working it out, or that is being said. Do you think that the opposition could say more on that matter, or it is dealing itself out in the public space the way it's supposed to?
Well, the opposition has said what they deem to be fit, but in my mind, the problem, yes, the problem with this is that it creates an environment in which the opposition is not Miss Curtis. And Miss Curtis has served our country for more than 30 years. And her association has indicated its own view, strong views in relation to how this is done. And I believe a lot of the public believe that Miss Curtis is essentially a scapegoat. Miss Curtis is in fact my classmate. We attended the law school together. And she's one of the
Hold
most,
on, stop there. Miss Curtis is a lawyer.
she is a lawyer. And she, before she was a lawyer, she had served many years in Parliament. And she went to school. She studied law to ensure that she can be of greater value to the country as Speaker, because that was the path she was on. She was the Deputy Clerk at the time. So she has her own idea and her own view privately in relation to what should or should not be done. But invariably, as a good public servant, she'll be carrying out her tasks in the manner consistent with the law. So one sees a letter that was written to her in which some persons interpreted it as a public rebuke. But one has seen a response from Miss Curtis. If Miss Curtis was to respond back and say, well, these are my reasons, X, Y, and Z, probably that will open up a whole can of worms. But as a public servant for more than 30 years, she has remained above the fray and has stuck to her tradition of adhering to the rules and laws of this land. And she is to be applauded. And one hopes that this dangerous precedent of cursing people in public who will not invariably respond will stop, because I don't think it would be tenable for Miss Curtis or the speaker if Miss Curtis was to respond back and say that perhaps why I didn't do X, Y, and Z was because it was your fault and you're the one who bring us into disrepute. So invariably, we have these public servants who give more to the country than they get from the country, being the scapegoats and being put in a position whereby they are cursed publicly to send to the entire parliament essentially, and then they are left wearing the bag on their face. And that is essentially a sad state of affairs, which gladly seems unprecedented, and we hope will never be repeated again. Because Miss Curtis is one of the nicest person, one of the humblest persons I know, and to see her treated in this manner totally took us by surprise. And I'm sure that even some government senators would have attended the law school at the same time that Miss Curtis attended the law school will know very well that she doesn't deserve to be treated like that. So I hope they can talk to their speaker.
I, hold on. Well, I say Duppy really know who for frighten. I say this is really the week for the non-lawyers. You know, the non-lawyers are going really hard in terms of chastising lawyers who actually know the law and telling them when they're wrong. I just this is a startling revelation because it speaks for itself. I guess to borrow from the words of Miss Michelle Obama, the former First Lady,
Yes,
when
sir.
they go low, Miss Curtis go high. Do you know, being her classmate, you know if she's related to Jigsy King and Tony Curtis, they had a song called Butterfly.
I don't know what's happening. You hear me?
I was asking you if you know if she's related to Jigsy King and Tony Curtis. They had a song called Dance Butterfly,
Not hearing
the
I said, hear
latest
me?
style. No?
Hello?
Yes, you're not hearing me.
You
You're
hear
not
me?
hearing me? Why? You're not hearing
Hello?
me? Yes, I'm here. You're not hearing me? Once again, technology has caused that. But I wanna thank Mr. Clark for definitely sharing with us today the novel Animal Farm. It once was on, as you heard one of the callers tell us, that it was a book that was on the book list. It would be very interesting. I'm inviting all persons to see if you can get a copy of the Animal Farm, read it, and it should be very, very interesting if one were to do that. I don't know if people are saying they're not hearing me and saying that it's Starlink, but I'm not connected to Starlink. I'm actually connected to Flow. So one wonders, but let me leave that one alone. Yeah. So we definitely would have gone into a realm of what I do call putting things into context and why context really matters. Yes, I really agree, randoms, that context does in fact matters. Hello? Yes, hello? Yes, hello? Good evening, how are you? Are you calling in relation to context matters? Yes, go ahead. You're live with Isaac Buchanan. Context matters. But go ahead. What's your take on Animal Farm? Mm-hmm. Oh, it still is. Mm-hmm. I'm very happy to learn that it is on the syllabus. Are you a teacher now, or nice? So I wanted to big up your school, so I want to know which school you're at, if you want to share. Okay, St. Jago High. Okay. So you see, this came at an excellent time. Big up St. Jago High. I know you guys did well in champs. And I'm happy to hear that it's on the. Oh, we do well in everything. You know, if I done me, so you know. I Meadowbrook me did go. Don't do me and Rattigan so bad. We went. You went. Okay. But you see, you went to St. Jago, you claim St. Jago because Meadowbrook now no track stars. But let me behave myself. Right.
It's double whammy.
Right.
They have recorded in both.
Okay,
So,
excellent.
but as it relates to Animal Farm,
Mm-hmm.
please understand that it's not just a text.
Right.
It is the story of the Russian Revolution. where people were upset about the social injustices to them.
Right.
So when you have, as Miss Clark said, all of these rules being given, and at the end of the day, when it benefits them, they change. You have to think about the society that you live in. The text that goes well with Animal Farm is T. Eliot's poem, The Love Song of J. Alfred Cooper.
The Love Song of J. Alfred Cooper.
Prufrock.
Prufrock.
P-R-U-F-R-O-T-T.
Okay.
And that poem has one that says, you put on the face to make the face that needs.
Nice, nice.
When you put Animal Farm, that poem together, you will believe in every society in the world that mankind is.
I wanna.
So Duppy Know
over frighten.
They put on the face. You and I are friends, I give you my friendly face. If we're not friends, you get my ugly face.
Right.
And so the situation that is in the media now, it's very disrespectful for public servants. And I don't want to go into history that was what happened to teachers in the recent salary negotiation. All right?
Right.
And so, with the lady being a public sector worker, giving service so many years, you do not call out somebody like that. There are protocols that should be followed. If it was you, you would have the protocols to be followed.
Exactly.
So why is it that you must get protocol, but the other person must not get protocol?
That's a very good question.
To be honest with you, I don't have much comment to make about it because both sides of the fence, whether they are opposition or ruling, this situation has been building from the day the speaker was placed in office. Because both parties agree and welcome. And I'm not questioning the integrity of our speaker. But there's no way you can be unbiased with such a close relationship with the other party. And so this is just a building. But then we have in Jamaica who are like boxer in Animal Farm. So no matter what Napoleon does, Napoleon is always right. It is no us to decide who we think is Napoleon. Because if it is orange, you think it's Napoleon. No matter what they do, they're going to be right. If it is green, that's Napoleon. No matter what they do. And at the end of the day, it caused Boxer to lose his life. Because Napoleon is always right. And when the windmill was destroyed, Napoleon took it upon himself to overwork himself. And then when he became ill, the Napoleon that he supported called in the settlement under the guise of an ambulance and seemed to be killed. Now, this is what it is about.
Right.
I tell people all the time, I am not for any party. I am a Jamaican. Right is right.
And wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong.
I want you to leave it right
and
there.
All my years in education, I have been having a problem with leaders because I don't have any friends when it comes down to being right or wrong. If you're right, you're right.
If you're wrong, you're wrong.
And Around your way. I will leave it right there.
I'm very thankful for that because you have set the stage for the answer to the Duppy Know who for frighten. Because if right is right and wrong is wrong, that is the standard to live by. And that is the unbiased standard. And we appreciate you. I want to thank you so much for calling. When you end the call, I would appreciate it if you would text me the poem so I can follow up with it next week when I start.
All right, no problem.
All right, I
Will
appreciate you.
do.
Have a wonderful evening. Yes, people. So there you have it. Animal Farm is actually still on the syllabus, and the students, no doubt, will can watch Context Matters to put context to a very interesting book. Napoleon is always right, and there are people in society who feel that no matter what their leaders do, they are right, and they will make excuses to justify them. A special big up and shout out to Carla, who also went to Meadowbrook and is now teaching at St. Jago. Your contribution is priceless, and that is what this program is about. I learned so much from you just now. Respect to Mr. Clark, who had given us invaluable, I'm going to use that word, information, and to put context to the very thing that we are trying to ascertain in terms of the conduct. I said it took a St. Jago rep. She went to Meadowbrook, so take a chill pill. It's my alumni that, so Loxley, just understand what's going on. Me and Ratty on the bright side right now. But yeah, so it is in that context that we know can say that we have to go away from the concept of the animal farm. We have to educate our students, and we have to invite people to reread some of the literature that you would have been exposed to when you were young. Escape to Last Man Peak, A Tale of Two Cities, Much Ado About Nothing. Literature is a wonderful tool to enhance your reasoning ability and include also your imagination, so you're not bounded by satire and stuff like that. Mr. Clark,
Plus
Yes.
one, six, seven, eight.
your final words, please.
Yes, I just hope that moving forward in our own life and in our own country, we will start realizing that we all need to be more discerning because I recall watching another program with you, I think it's Reasoning with Rattigan, where there was a presenter who was reading from some document and a very popular singer who was indicating only last week, Saturday, that essentially what the government was saying in this case was right. And then in some cases, when we start loving our leaders so much, we start defending all kind of nonsense that they put forward because we start to love them so much that we forget that our love should first be towards our country and our fellow man. So just like in Animal Farm, when the other when you had Boxer who blindly followed the government and who was saying, well, if they change the rule, it must be for good reason. If they're saying that this is how it go, it must be for good reason. What you had is that policies started to be put in place which were detrimental to the animal and which are detrimental to our country. And then because we love our government, our parties so much, we fail to hold our leaders to account until we realize that all animals are equal, except but some animals are more equal than others. Because that was the rule that ended Animal Farm. And in our country, we start to believe that all people are equal. But some people, whether they're in green or orange, they're more equal than others. So whatever nonsense they say, we should defend it because after all, we put in our party or our friends before our own best interests. And I hope that many of us will not do that, but and realize that we have to put our first loyalty in our family and in our country and not just be like boxers but be persons who really want to see the best for our country. Because after all, out of many, we are one people.
Big up yourself. But Mr. Clark, before you go, you were one of the attorneys in that very famous case, the Adidja Palmer, Sean Campbell, Kara Jones, and Andre St. John. When them are free world boss?
Well, I'm sure the answer to that is based in your clause, so you should tell us. When is that?
Good answer. Context matters. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Clark, attorney at law, the abolitioner, freedom fighter, and I won't say no more beyond that, but you can follow Mr. Clark on Instagram and send him reels and know your lawyers, know your bright, brilliant attorneys who Jamaica can't survive without them. Blessings, Mr. Clark. Thanks for joining. And people, this was Context Matters. I promise you, don't eat too much Easter bun. Do not, although they said that we don't want, Jamaica is like Animal Farm. Just because we say you don't eat the pork, it don't mean that you can't roast it here. So anybody who wants to be a pig, just know, say there's a pit for you. And we'll leave it at that. So that was Context Matters, everybody. I really enjoyed this show. There was, albeit that there were some technical difficulties, I really want to say that we did very well. You should all be proud of yourselves. And as it is right now, remember, it's all in life. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, follow, and we continue to learn, we continue to educate. And listen, at this point, I'm just going to say this. We have to just ignore the negativity, the distasteful comments as they come. It's a part of life. There are some people that they're here, they're put on earth. Their existence is to make up the negativity. And if you know anything about polarity, negative and positive, it's needed to create a balance. So just keep it. Have a wonderful Easter. Don't hang up anybody on the cross. And be compassionate, be kind, and be patient. Love thy neighbor as you would yourself. And if you feel that you need to confess, 12 a.m. to 2 p.m., the hotline is open for you. Tell me your sins. Pass the ISAT out. Context matters.
It took some time to understand, yeah, just what it takes to be a man. Now it seems each day you learn something to make a better way. Growing up ain't just a phase, it's reality. And sometimes it's hard to face the world with your head screwed on. But in time you will see, it comes naturally, like the hurt and the pain. It's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way. But if you need a helping hand, just call on me, I will be your friend. And when it gets hard to face the world with your head screwed on, just tell yourself you can. And that's when you'll understand that the hurt and the pain, it's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You gotta keep on moving on. Don't let no one stand in your way. Gotta keep on pressing on as we pray for better. moving to the next. When they try to bring you down, we gotta take it to the next level when they come around. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. Just keep your head up, yeah. Just keep your head up, yeah. Gotta keep your head up, yeah. Cause everything's gonna be alright.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
Cause everything's gonna be alright.
Cause everything's gonna be alright.